This video is for educational and philosophical discussion purposes only. The intention is to explore facts, ideas, and logical perspectives on religion and philosophy without disrespecting any belief system or individual. We respect all faiths and their followers. If you find this topic sensitive, please watch with an open mind and understanding. Viewer discretion is advised for sensitive topics. Thank you for engaging with us thoughtfully.
Quick recap of Dr. Kashif Khan lecture. It says the Quran's Wahida is the singularity from which humans and the universe began. The lecture takes the scientific singularity and equates it with the Quran's Wahida mainly by translation, but misses the context. In science though, a singularity isn't a thing or a being. It's the point where our current math and theories can't go further yet. And by yet, I mean our understanding is unfinished, temporary, and expected to improve. History shows these limits don't stay forever. We build better tools, better theories, and we push past them. Here's the plan. First, I'll explain this in simple, everyday language with quick examples. Then we'll look at it in scientific terms, what relativity and quantum models actually say. Finally, a question for you in plain words. When we hit a limit today, should we call it God, or should we keep exploring and see what we discover next? There was a time when the stars in the sky were a mystery. People thought they might be tiny holes in a heavenly dome, or divine beings twinkling in the night. No one knew what they really were. That was a singularity, a place where our knowledge ended. But then came telescopes, physics, and astronomy. We learned that stars are massive spheres of burning gas undergoing nuclear fusion. That singularity is gone, replaced with scientific understanding. Then there was this sun, the life-giving light in our sky. Cultures called it a god, a chariot, or a divine flame. No one knew what powered it. Again, this was a singularity, a gap in human understanding. But now we know. The sun is a star, just like the others, powered by fusion reactions at its core. That singularity too has been resolved. Even the structure of the universe itself was once misunderstood. For most of human history, we thought our solar system was the entire cosmos. The idea of other galaxies didn't even exist. This, too, was a singularity. Then came Edwin Hubble and modern astronomy. We now know our universe contains over 100 billion galaxies. That singularity was shattered by deeper observation. And even in recent decades, we had singularities in our knowledge of space, like the surface of Mars or the rings of Saturn. They were mysterious, unobserved, but satellites and rovers gave us photos, data, and real evidence. These unknowns turned into knowns. So, while Wahida in the Quran and singularity in science might sound similar because they both talk about one starting point, in science, singularity is about the limits of our current knowledge, not direct evidence of our origin. This is like hearing the word cell in biology, a living unit, versus cell in a prison, a small room, or charge in physics, electric property, versus charge in law, an accusation. Words can match across disciplines, but their meanings are defined by their specific context. Treating the two as the same just because the wording is similar is a category error. It is claimed by Dr. Kashif Khan that modern physics confirms the existence of a singularity, a point where space and time lose meaning, and the Quran refers to this as Wahida, the one single origin from which all creation emerged, proving divine foreknowledge. In physics, a singularity isn't a thing you can point to in space. In general relativity, it's a boundary where the curvature of space-time and the density of matter become infinite. In other words, the mathematical equations break down. This breakdown isn't evidence of divine intervention, it's a sign our equations need an upgrade. The singularity theorems of Stephen Hawking and Roger Penrose show that under certain physical conditions, the paths of particles, space-time geodesics, can't be traced any further back. That's the model's limit, not a supernatural doorway. There are different types of singularities. The cosmological singularity appears in standard Big Bang models as the starting point of cosmic expansion. Black hole singularities happen when massive stars collapse, and they may be hidden inside event horizons or, in theory, visible as naked singularities. These models are tested by looking for measurable traces in the universe's structure, not by linking them to religious scripture. The key point is that at a singularity, our current theory, general relativity, loses predictive power. Space, time, and matter, as we know them, just stop being meaningful in a classical sense, and we need a quantum theory of gravity to go further. Some modern approaches, like loop quantum cosmology, remove the singularity altogether, replacing it with a quantum bounce where a previous contracting universe transitions into our expanding one. Throughout history, wherever there was a singularity, a point where knowledge ended, humans pushed forward. They asked better questions, built better tools, and discovered new answers. These weren't divine mysteries. They were simply temporary dead ends in our understanding until we went further. That's what a scientific singularity truly is. Not a magical moment, not the hand of a god, but a challenge. And history proves we rise to that challenge. So, audience, given that every past singularity, from the edge of the Atlantic to the mystery of the stars, has eventually yielded to human inquiry, could you clarify for us, please? Exactly which remaining singularity should we now promote to the status of God or the origin of humans and the universe, as per Dr. Kashif Khan? And how will we know it won't vanish the moment science sails a little farther?